Alright, so I'm here with the top 10 foreign wrestlers, and by foreign I mean outside the United States. That's where I live. So, foreign would for me would mean outside the United States. I mean, I guess it depends what country you live in. Actually, the person who told me to do this video, I believe he's from Canada. So, this was a requested video. So I believe he was from Canada. If you have any requested videos, comment them. Leave it to me in the comments. I look at pretty much all my comments. I try to at least look at I just looked at them all today actually. I look at the notification. They give you a little thing in Google and tells you all the comments. I try to look through all of them. There's a lot, so sometimes I skip a few every once in a while, but I try to look at most of them. And if I don't do your video, or I don't say, okay, I'll do this video, then just ask me again. Or on Twitter, hit me up on Twitter, because I look at all my notifications on Twitter. That's a sure thing. If you want to request a video, probably request it on Twitter at WWE Heel Punk. But, so yeah, top 10 foreign wrestlers. Let's get the list started here. Number 10, Paige. Paige is from, I think, Norwich, England. She's a pretty good wrestler. I mean, her highlights matches have been in NXT. Like, she had a good match with Emma, I remember, on that Takeover show. Then she came to WWE, and she didn't really do that good. I mean, I think that was because the wrestlers here aren't that good, or they don't give her like a long match. It's like the matches in NXT, the Divas matches were pretty long. They were probably longer than the matches on Raw, or on SmackDown, whatever, the main shows. So, that could have affected Paige. And also in NXT, they got like a crowd of, it's less than 1,000 people. I think it's like 400 or 500 people, and you go to a crowd of like 15,000. That's a big jump, and that can make you nervous. I mean, it's a different crowd, different atmosphere. It's totally different. So, I mean, I think for NXT, they should get a bigger crowd there. I mean, it's a good atmosphere with the crowd, but I think it would be better if they just got like a bigger crowd to go there. But, Paige has wrestled some good matches, even in the main roster, on the main shows. She has a pretty cool submission finisher too, with the modified Scorpion Deathlock or something. I don't know what she calls it, the Paige Tap Out. I think that's a stupid name, but she's got a good finisher, and she's wrestled some good matches. So her promo skills, not good. I've seen a few of her promos, and they haven't been good. She's got to really work on her promos, but they haven't really given her a gimmick to run with either. All she does is scream her ass off. But yeah, number 10, Paige. Number 9, Justin Gabriel. I haven't seen much of him, but I figured I'd put him on this list because he does seem like a good wrestler. He's got some good moves. He's got that 450 splash, which is an impressive move. He seems like an acrobatic guy, athletic guy. I haven't seen much of him. I don't remember a lot of him, but he seems like a pretty good wrestler, so I'll put him at number 9. Number 8, Kofi Kingston. Kofi's a good wrestler. He's got good moves in there. I mean, his Trouble in Paradise finisher is a good finisher. It's athletic. It takes a lot of skill to do that. And yeah, he's got some good moves, Not a huge fan of the boom drop though, but I guess it's an okay move. But he's a good wrestler, but he's got to work on his promo skills. I mean, it hasn't helped that he's been the same fucking character for years. He's been a babyface forever. But it finally looks like he's turning heel, so he might actually turn into a very entertaining character here. He's already a good wrestler, so maybe this heel turn will give him a good character. Or maybe since he's in 3, he's in a trio now, he won't have to cut promos at all, and usually as like a mid-carder or below, you don't have to really cut promos, because you don't usually do, you just mainly wrestle or job out, or, but, Kofi didn't have a good gimmick. He was boring, and, he didn't really get any time on the mic, but even when he was, I don't remember anything good from him, so. Number 8 is Kofi. Number 7, Natalya. Natalya's a good wrestler. She actually knows her fucking shit and how to wrestle. I watch this with my stepdad. Sometimes he'll sit down and watch it with me, and he'll always comment on the Divas and say how disgraceful it is that they wrestle and how stupid it is. I tell him, actually some of them can wrestle. Like, I'll tell him, like, yeah, some of them have talent actually. And Natalia is one of those people. She knows how to wrestle. She's not like a fucking, you know, hottie or anything like Nikki Bella is, but she's not ugly like Tamina either. So she's, and when I rate divas, I mean wrestling is always more important than looks too. It's nice to see a hot diva, but if you can't wrestle for shit, I mean, what's the fucking point? I mean, looks can only go so far, you know. WWE and Natalia, she is pretty cute, you know. She's not bad, but you know, I shouldn't even be talking about her looks. I mean, she's can wrestle good matches, especially if you watch some of her matches on NXT. She's wrestled. I mean, you know, she knows how to wrestle. Like her match with Charlotte, very good match that was. I remember. I mean, so she can wrestle. You know, match with Charlotte, good match. Very whatever. I don't remember what I said. You know, but I do remember it was at least a good match. She's wrestled good matches. I mean, so I mean, her promo, she doesn't really have time to cut promo. I mean, none of the divas really cut promos except like AJ every once in a while, or like the top 2 or 3 divas cut promos. So you know, I don't even know what her promo skills are, but yeah, she can wrestle. She's a good wrestler, and she's from what, Canada, right? Kofi's from South or Ghana, and is Natalia from Canada? Oh shit. You know, I was thinking she was part of the Hart Dungeon. You know, Bret Hart was from Canada, and does she? I don't fucking know. Whatever. Yeah, I think she is. But yeah, number 6, Sami Zayn. Is he from? I hope he's fucking from Canada. I think he's from Canada too. I hope I got this right. But yeah, number 6, Sami Zayn. I think he is from Canada. El Generico was his fucking indie name, so I think he is from Canada or some foreign country. I have to look this up. But Sami Zayn, I mean, good wrestler. Had some fucking kick-ass matches with fucking Cesaro. I think that match with Cesaro on TakeOver was the best wrestling match I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, what a great fucking match that was. I mean, fucking awesome that was. Told a story, had great wrestling moves. I mean, that was fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal fucking match. And even the 2 out of 3 falls was a fucking good match too. So I mean, he's wrestled good matches. He knows how to wrestle. I haven't seen much of him on the mic yet, but he's a good wrestler, so I'll put him at number 6. Number 5, Y2J. I know Y2J is from Canada. He's a Canadian boy. Yeah, Y2J, I mean, he's a good wrestler. Can also cut a good promo too. And you know, like promos, it's like I always think, if you don't have a fucking if you can't fucking cut a promo, you know, you could always get a manager, but if you can't wrestle, then you're fucked. You know, obviously if you're Paul Heyman, you don't have to wrestle, but if you're a wrestler and you can't wrestle, I mean, you're pretty much screwed. You have to you have to at least be able to wrestle decent or okay, or you better have a fucking awesome promo, you know, if you can't wrestle that good. But yeah, I mean, Chris Jericho, I mean, he's not like great, but he can cut a good promo, he could wrestle a good match. So yeah, I mean, and he could carry people, he carries people to good matches too. Like, I remember he had a match with the Big Show and it ended up being actually an okay match. And when, you know, like, when you could have an okay match with the Big Show, like on fucking SmackDown, I think that's where the match was, that probably means you're a pretty good wrestler. And I remember he had a great match with Y2J or with Del Rio. I mean, so, I mean, he could carry people to good matches. He could have, whether it's carry or just have, I mean, he's had good matches, so, you know. Number 5 is Jericho. Number 4, Tyson Kidd. Here we go again. You know, I was assuming Tyson Kidd, part of the Hart Dungeon, from Canada, but now I don't know. I should have fucking looked this up, but you know, if you went to the Hart Dungeon, you were probably from Canada, right? I hope so. I should have looked this shit up. But yeah, Tyson Kidd, fucking good wrestler. I mean, he's got acrobatic, athletic moves in there. Yeah, he's a fucking jobber. I mean, that's what you get when you have entertaining moves and shit. You get made into a fucking jobber. I mean, he had a very good match with Neville at the TakeOver pay-per-view. And he's wrestled, he's got good fucking moves in there, but all they do is fucking make him a jobber. It's ridiculous. He's entertaining. He'll be a top guy, I even think. I don't know if he's got a good promo or not, but I mean, his wrestling ability is fucking great. I mean, he's a very good wrestler, but I mean, I haven't seen anything from his promo skills, so I would have to see more from his promo skills to rate his promo ability. But he's a very good wrestler, so I'll put number 4 as Tyson Kidd. Number 3, Neville. Neville's from England, I think. Neville's a very good wrestler. Promo ability, I mean, nothing really good that I remember from him cutting promos. I mean, a lot of these NXT guys, I mean, they're good wrestlers, but you don't see much from their promo ability. And they don't give them a lot of time to cut promos in NXT either. But Neville, I mean, he's a very good wrestler. He's got some athletic moves, just like Tyson Kidd. He's a small guy, but I mean, he's still a good wrestler. He's wrestled some good matches. So, yeah, number 3 is Neville. Number 2, BNB, Bad News Barrett. Bad News Barrett from England, I believe. He's a good wrestler, and he can also cut a good promo as that Bad News Barrett kind of character. I sort of like the character, and he was a good wrestler. He wrestled some good matches in his short time as that Bad News Barrett character until he got injured, unfortunately. But yeah, Bad News Barrett, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed his promos, or some of his promos. Some of them were stupid, some of them were good. Probably a little bit too high up on this list, but whatever, he was good. I enjoyed him. So number 2 is Bad News Barrett. Number 1, the Swiss Superman, Cesaro. Cesaro, another guy who's got talent, can fucking wrestle. They set him up perfectly too with Paul Heyman. Perfectly. They had a great thing going. I mean, Cesaro, I mean, not too many memorable promos from Cesaro that I remember. But he's a good, very good wrestler. He got some fucking awesome moves. He's strong as fuck. Body slam the Big Show. Does awesome moves. I mean, I haven't really seen enough of him on the mic though to determine whether he's a good talker or not. But I mean, he was giving Paul Heyman, I'm like, oh, this is great. You're gonna push him. He might even become fucking champion. But he becomes a jobber, and he loses to people like Biggie Langston, Kofi Kingston. He loses to Sheamus. He becomes a fucking now he lost to Cena, another loss last week. So the Heyman Cesaro thing, fucking failure. What the hell? I mean, they had him going up perfectly. The crowd liked him, people liked him, and now he's just a fucking jobber pretty much. So but he's still talented. He can still wrestle good matches. He wrestled a very good match with Cena on Raw. He gave that a 4 out of 5 stars, I believe. And it was a very good match, I felt. And yeah, that's what you gave a wrestling very good matches in WWE. You get fucking nothing. Nothing happens to you. You get demoted. And then if you wrestle like Randy Orton, do boring rest holds, fucking clotheslines, fucking kicks, fucking punches, and generic moves all day long, you get the fucking belt, and you get pushed, and you get in the main event. That's just how it goes in WWE for some reason. If you're Roman Reigns, you got fucking 5 moves that you use, like that's all you use is 5 moves. You get put in the fucking main event. So that's your WWE for you. There you go, people. There's my top 10 fucking foreign wrestlers. If there's any I left off the list, just let me know. Or that you think should have been on the list. Comment. It's alright if you have difference of opinions. I don't care. Use your First Amendment right. We're gonna have difference of opinion. I mean, if we take 2 people, they're probably not gonna have the same opinion. So comment your list of wrestlers who you think best foreign wrestlers outside the U.S. who you think are good or deserve to be on the top 10 list. So there you go, people.